Hi everybody. I was just coming back to you to make another video because I think, you know, I got a good reception about my video. So I was coming because I wanted to talk about something else that I've dealt with my whole life. And that is about um being a dark skinned woman. And I remember Oprah Winfrey on did a special about that, and it's kind of funny that some people say, "Oh, I've never experienced that," or "Oh, I don't think that's really true," but I think it is, and I think that it needs to be talked about, and I think that more of it needs to be talked about because I experienced it, and also I wanted to also talk about in conjunction with that about us as parents inflicting some of our hurts and pains on our children that we don't even really know that we pass on. We cause our children to be self conscious about things. We cause our children to um, just be extra cautious about things. And I just feel like we need to be careful. And it's even something that I did, and I didn't even realize it. And my youngest child, she told me about it, and I was like, "Yeah." I said, "You are absolutely right." But one of the things I wanted to talk about was I wanted everybody to see my earrings, and it's by one of my friends, and he's on Facebook, he's on Instagram, and on Facebook, it's Comedic Crafts here in Columbus, Georgia. And I think on Instagram, and I know on Instagram he is Kalani Crafts, I think. I hope I'm getting it right. But I wanted everybody to see my earrings. And he does all kinds of things. He does earrings, he does chokers. He's doing picks now. And he is very, very talented. And so y'all look him up and send friend requests and see if you can't get you some earrings, a pick, a choker. I'm hoping soon he'll do bangles. But I digress. Back to what I was talking about. One of the things I wanted to talk about was, just being a dark skinned girl. And like one of my friends said, being a heavily melanated sister. So I just want to talk about, you know, it really does exist, and I wanted my sisters because it took me a long, 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 long time to get past this hang up right here, and that's just being dark skinned and feeling like you have to do extra just to be noticed, to be um, even put in the quote unquote running of, being a woman of beauty and something to be admired or, just an option. And I want all my dark skinned sisters to know that you are beautiful just the way that you are. And like I said on my last video, you need to learn how to celebrate you just the way you are because it's important. And um, don't feel like you have to have an issue with your sisters if they're lighter complected. Um, because they fighting their own battles. I had a sister to tell me that she dealt with issues being too bright and people saying or making her feel like she wasn't black enough. And to me, it was just almost unheard of to think that, you know, somebody would say that or somebody would feel that way. And it's just sad that we as a people, as black people, have had to face so many unnecessary things due to us being taken from our homeland and being put here, and then just having to deal with being oppressed and being in bondage and having to be abused and taken advantage of, and you know once we were taken advantage of in a sexual way and a child was conceived out of this heinous act, you know what I'm saying, then you still want to separate us. You did something ugly, but you still want to separate us and want that lighter skinned child that you may be better than the darker skinned child or the dark skinned person, and you hear the saying, house niggas and field niggas, and it's just terrible because they just wanted to separate us. They wanted to us to not love each other. They want us to be divided, and they did everything that they could to make that possible. And we've grown up with that ideal. And I one of my things, and I'm being my one of my sisters, Ifa Shayo said that Fashayo said that I was being transparent, and I want to be, because I feel like when you truly are transparent and you can, be honest about things that you're going through, it can heal you. And so I'm letting go and I'm talking about it. I One of my prayers was when I had little girls, because I didn't want nothing but little girls. I had one boy, and I always wanted to have lighter skinned daughters because I wanted them to feel, I wanted to teach them that they weren't any better than the dark skin. We're equal. But in that, it made them feel still inferior. And my youngest daughter, she told me that. She said, "Well, Mama, it didn't bother me because I feel good about myself." So um, I'm just saying, you just have to, we have to love our sisters and celebrate our sisters and let our sisters celebrate us, because we're all uniquely different and beautiful in the same way. And I was, it was passed on to me, so to speak, or it was inflicted upon me about my skin color because my mom is very, very dark complected. And she would say things that made me feel like there was a reason to think that I was inferior, or you know um I always just was just afraid. And I mean, even though it did go on in my life. It did happen. It's something that did take place. So, but I was on the defense. I was always looking. I was always watching. I was always, trying to make sure that I was extra. And then when you feel like that, you tend to feel like, okay, I'm gonna have to do this and I'm gonna have to do that just to be considered. And so we as parents need to be careful of the things that the the pains and hurts that we deal with as children, because a lot of times we can pass that on, and a lot of times we're more worried and we're more concerned about what happened to us as a child, and we're not allowing our children to be children and be happy. And so um, that's just something that I wanted to share with, the sisters. It's just to be, once again, to celebrate you and to accept the fact and love the fact that you are uniquely you. And um, celebrate your sisters. Y'all celebrate together. Together, we all come here in different shades. And the next video I'll probably do is about, us, some being little and some being small. And just us knowing that, you know, let's not allow them to continue to set up and put into place things that will divide us, because collectively, together as a people, we're powerful, and they know that. They know that, and so they're gonna do whatever they can do to divide us. So I say, everybody, you know, as parents, we need to be mindful of that, and watchful of that. And I just want to say that. And I hope everybody's enjoying the game. I'm not really watching the game, but I hope whoever wants to win is winning. And um, I'll be back to do another one soon. So I want to say serenity and grace. Good night.